Live here. Okay, fine. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I am Abhinandan Khurana, a cybersecurity specialist at Indian Cybersecurity Solutions, and I'll be taking your session for Kali Linux Bootcamp for this 4 days. So, how are you, everyone? So, first of all, I need that you all need to be interactive in this session to learn the most in these sessions, in this boot camp. So, first of all, I would like to know about you all people that how much do you know about Linux system, or you are a novice, you don't know anything, and a brief introduction would work as well. Like your name, and are you a novice, or do you know anything about Kali Linux or Linux system, Ubuntu, or something as well. So we can start. So first, we can go with Sulagna Kundu. You can unmute your mic and tell us. You can give us one introduction, and you can tell that you are not audible if you are speaking, Sulagna. Uh, Please refresh your network, Sulagna. I think we can move on to Swagato Bose. You can turn on your mic and you can speak up.
Hello everyone. I guess you can hear me, right, Abhinandan?
Okay, great. So, are you a novice, Swagato, or do you know about Linux system from
No,
before?
I know basic about Linux, so I can consider myself as a
Okay.
novice only.
Okay. Great. Great. So, do you know about Ubuntu or Kali Linux specifically?
No, I know about. I've worked with only basic Linux servers, so I'm not very.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. That's great. So, let's move on. And Bhuvana Ram, you can turn on your mic and speak up. You can give a small introduction if you want. A name can be enough as well. And you are a novice or not, you can tell us.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bhuvanaram, and I am CCNA and CH qualified. So I having basic knowledge of Kali Linux and Red Hat and Ubuntu.
Okay, that's great. That's amazing. Okay, we can move on to Jayant now. Jayant, you can speak up.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening. Uh, Actually, I'm having basic knowledge about the Linux, not well versed with
Okay.
the Linux. I'm having basic knowledge about the RHEL, not about the Kali Linux.
Okay, great. So next is our Raghul John. You can speak up now. Raghul, you are not audible if you are speaking. Please refresh your network or check your internet connection. Okay, we can move on to Vamshi Krishna. You can speak up.
Hi everyone. I know about basics how to open this directory and some more comments on Linux.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so Lagna, if you want to speak up, you can now. If you have, yeah. I think you are still not audible. Is he audible to everyone, or am I the only one who is not able to listen?
No, he is not audible.
Okay, so Suragna, please check your connection again. And Raghul, if you want to speak up, you can also speak up now. Okay, that's fine, no problem. So we can move further. I guess you all are like from the science, like BTech, like technology background, or different backgrounds as well.
Myself, technology.
Myself also technology.
Okay, great. So we'll be
Technological
starting. Yeah.
background.
Okay, great. Okay, so for let me share my screen first. I hope my screen is visible. It is sharing eyes. Is my screen visible, guys, or it
No,
is still
no.
okay? Check one sec. Let me share it again. Okay, so meanwhile, my screen is sharing. So what we will be doing first is we will be installing the Kali Linux, and while we'll be installing, we'll be talking about some things about the different desktop environments which Linux have, and difference between some Linux like Kali Linux environments as well. So let me just see why is my screen not sharing.
Abhinandan, this is Jayant here. I have one query.
Yeah.
All the sessions will be conducted by you or some other people will be there?
No, I'll be conducting all the sessions.
Okay.
Okay, I guess now my screen would be visible to you all. Okay, great. So, first let's go to the website. So we have two kind of milli ISO. So for the installing Kali Linux, first we need to install the ISO file from the kali.org website. We can basically install this ISO file, which is of 4.6 GBs. Or there is also a basic version of that has weekly updates. So for example, you can simply say this as a beta versions. So they come with the weekly updates, which are not actually globally released, so you can use them and as well just give them the responses. And there is a third version which is named the net installer, which is for the mobile systems. So you have this for 64-bit systems, 32-bit systems, as well as the Apple systems. So this is the first point which you can do. So you can install it on your PC, the laptop, via using a bootable USB drive, or you can dual boot the system with while using this ISO, as well as you can install this ISO file kind Linux on your VirtualBox or VMware virtual station. Like basically, that's a virtual machine, so we are using different kind of softwares to install them. For example, we have VirtualBox, which is free and open source, and we have VMware Player and VMware Workstation. So VMware Player is free, and Workstation is paid version, and it is like really amazing. So you can use them as well while using this ISO. But the one downside is that while you are using this ISO, you have to install it every single time when you are using it. So like on your system, if you have installed it, so you have to go to a very long process and install it, and then it's going to be working. But you have an alternative here in the, you can see on the website. So you have virtual machine images for the VMware as well as the VirtualBox. So these are comparatively in the smaller sizes. For example, 2.7 GB image is for VMware, and for VirtualBox you have 4 GB image. So what these images are basically, like you can basically install these images, extract them, and you can simply boot into them without any time delay. You don't have to install them. You can directly boot into them and you can start working with them. And they have default credentials Kali and Kali as a username and password as well. So you can use them. So I'll be showing you both of these methods today, like how to install them. So I have here installed both of them probably. Yeah. So Kali Linux here. So I have installed both of them here. So your, I guess, first one, if this is my archive. Okay, so this one, the Kali Linux WinRAR archive is there, 2.12 GB. It is like a very low old one, so I didn't install the new one. This is the old one which I have, which I'm using from many time now, from quite a time now. So you have this 7-zip format archive. You can also extract it using WinRAR, or there is a software named 7-zip, and you can simply extract it. So let me show you. I have it installed in my C drive here. It's under the Kali Linux. So this is the folder which we will be getting after the extraction of that 2.12 GB or basically 2.7 GB. So it's gonna extract to, I guess, roughly around 10 to 12 GBs, from 2 GBs to 10 to 12 GBs, and then you'll be getting inside that, and you'll be having a VMware virtual machine configuration file. So you can see here you'll be getting many of these kind of files here, and you'll be getting Kali Linux this .vmx. This is a configuration file. So you can either double click on it or right click on it and open with VMware Player, either VMware Player, or you can use virtual VMware Workstation. You can prefer VMware Player. It is also fine. It only, I guess, gives you one virtual machine at a time, and it is a free version. Whereas VMware Workstation is a professional version, and it is paid. You need to pay for it, but it is actually really worth it because you can also use what you can say that cloud machines as well from here. So you can buy them. So you can also, like, you don't need to even install them. You can simply just SSH into those machines, or maybe RDP via this workstation. So I really like workstation, so I'll be opening here. So I've already opened it. So when you will open it, you will be getting this kind of interface, and you'll be showing Kali Linux 2020.2 AVMware AMD 64, and you can basically power on this machine from here. It is turned off right now. You'll be seeing this kind of interface. Or if you don't know how to just basically find the VMX file, when you will open the VMware workstation or any other, you can basically just you see this home section, and you can click on open a virtual machine, and you can directly go to that extracted folder, and you will get that .vmx file. Directly you can see it. So you can open from here as well. And from this machine we have already gotten 2 GB memory allotted, 4 processors, and 80 GB hard disk drive. And most important thing is that your network adapter needs to be NAT, and which is already set it up here. When you'll be setting up your Kali Linux from the ISO file, you need to set up either NAT or I guess most probably NAT works the best. So you need to use the NAT only, and everything must be configured automatically, and you can basically power on this machine from here. So this is your one method, which is like really efficient. I will be powering on, and this will just boot me up into a Kali machine, which is having the default credentials as user Kali and password Kali as well. So this is a new machine, and then we will be getting here. Let me show you. Okay, so Kali Linux. So second thing is our ISO file image, which is our 4.55 GB. I already downloaded it from the official website of Kali Linux, which is kali.org/downloads. You can basically go to the kali.org, or basically you can write Kali download Kali Linux, Kali Kali Linux download, and you'll be directing to here get Kali Linux, and you can basically go and download it from here. So I've downloaded this 4.6 GB installer,
Abhishek, what are the
and
versions available for Kali?
there is only one version. You can like use 64-bit version, 32-bit version, or even it is available for Apple M1 devices as well.
No,
So you
no,
can
no.
use it if
By
you want
asking
a
version,
60.
I'm saying whether 10.0, 20.0.
No, no.
Does
Like
it having any
actually,
new?
these are the latest versions, which are the latest security patches and everything. So if you want to download the previous versions which have been released earlier, so you can download them as well from other websites as well. But it's mostly preferred to download it from here. It has only one and updated
Yeah,
version,
Kali
and you
Linux
should see it.
2021 is the version name.
Yeah, 2021.3 is the version name.
Yeah, this is what
You
my
can see
question
here.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I am having the 2020.2 version here installed. I installed it in 2020, the configuration file from VMware, which was. So you can also update this machine inside the machine, your Kali machine, but here outside it will be written the same name, so that doesn't matter. You can basically install it. I'll be showing you how to update the machine as well. Okay, so we are be going to install this from the ISO file now. So let's go into it. So we'll be clicking on the create a new virtual machine. We can do this on like same system is also. Do anyone want to say something? Okay. So this system is basically used like you can follow the same system on the virtual box. That is another open source tool which is free, which you can also use if you have low spec computer laptop. So I prefer, like I would say, don't use VirtualBox, which is like not that efficient. You can use VMware Player or VMware Workstation. I'll be showing you how to like install this ISO file on VMware Workstation. Same process also goes with the VirtualBox. There are slight differences that you can figure it out yourself. But if you have any problems, you can consult from me tomorrow in the tomorrow session. Okay, so we can let's move into it. So we will be doing the typical recommended one. So next, and we can now either we can give the ISO image from the starting, or we can give it in the last as well. So I'm gonna give it here in the starting now. So let's go to here, Kali Linux, and we have the ISO file. I'm gonna open it, and I've opened it here, and it is detected. So we can do next. Then, excuse me, we can just click on Linux, and we'll be selecting the. Let me see. Debian, yeah. So you'll be selecting Debian 9.x or 64-bit. Because I've installed the 64-bit ISO, so I'll be choosing the Debian because Kali Linux is based on the Debian system of the Linux environment. So there are other many kinds of systems. So there are Red Hat, there are Debians, which is based on like Kali is based on Debian and Ubuntu as well, and are there as well. There is Arch Linux as well, Fedora, CentOS, and etc. So we'll be choosing Debian for Kali Linux because Debian is the basic version for Kali Linux, the kernel. So we'll be doing next, and we'll be giving the name for this machine. So I'm gonna give it Kali Linux 64-bit. So we'll be choosing where will be the location of this file for the installation location. So let me choose it here. Let's see. I'll be doing it in the D drive in the Kali Linux. And okay, fine. Inside the Kali Linux, I'll be doing it in installation ISO. Okay, next. So now we will be giving the disk space, which will be providing like basically the main space. So I would recommend to use minimum of 45 or maybe 50 GB. Like it is just you can say pre-recorded, like it is just pre-gathered for this system. It won't be just using a 50 GBs. You can also use it, but it is like maintained for Kali Linux as the like basic. So give it minimum 20. Like you have the here it is also recommended 20 GBs, but I would recommend to give 35 or 40 GBs for minimum. So let me give it 40 GB. I guess it will be fine. We can also use it as a store virtual disk as a single file or split virtual disk into multiple files. So when you'll be splitting this, then it will be easier to move the virtual machine to another computer, but may reduce the performance with very large disks. So like maybe you have the very large disk. So as you saw here, I showed you in my installation folder here. Let me show you again. So for this Kali machine which I have already installed, it is of 44.7 GBs now currently. So if I wanted to just move it to another computer or laptop of my system, so it would be really hard for me if I've stored it in a single file, and like we have to make an archive, and it would be really not good. So we can just basically split it into the disk. So it depends on basically you how you want to do it. It doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna do it like go with the
Abhishek, I
default
think
one.
Abhishek.
What happened? Is my voice lagging or something?
No, no, nothing. Abhishek, I had a query. Moving a single file will be easier or moving a multiple file will be easier? I think moving a single
Actually,
file will be
your
easier, right?
voice is lagging.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I will ask the same question again.
Is your
Am I
voice
audible?
lagging for everyone or only for me?
Hello.
Do you want to say something because I couldn't hear you because the voice was lagging?
Now I'm audible.
Uh, Actually, it is lagging still.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Shall we move on? You can write it
Yeah,
in the chat
please.
box if
Yeah.
very. Okay, let's move on. So now we will be customizing the hardware systems, like how we want to give the how much RAM and space we want to give processors. So I'll be giving 1 GB. I would recommend you to give 2 GBs, but as we're using it as a like an example virtual machine installation, so I'll be giving it 1 GB. Maybe we can give it 2 GB. Okay, fine. Let's give it 2 GB because 2 GB is recommended mostly to work fine. 2048. Then we'll move on to the processors. So you can give processors each, which will be four processors, and virtualization engine, I guess virtualization Intel VT or AMD, virtualized CPU, performance counters. I guess let's leave it for now. We have already provided ISO file, so if you haven't given the ISO file in the beginning, you can provide ISO file now here in this new CD DVD IDE. In the space we have already selected NAT network adapter, so that's great. USB controller present, sound card, auto detect, printer, display, and each and everything is fine. So we can close this, and we have our memory 2 GB and NAT and 40 GB hard disk. So do it, we'll do it finish. Okay, so now we have built this. Let me show you it. Okay, so we have built our Kali machine. Now we'll be powering on this machine. If you still want to configure something, so you can go to edit virtual machine settings here, and you can edit them from here. So let's power on this machine.
Hello, Abhishek.
Okay, hello, am I audible, everyone?
Yeah,
Actually,
Abhinandan, yes.
my laptop got crashed. I don't know why, for what reason it got crashed. Just a minute, I'm sharing my screen again. Okay, let's hope for the best this time. My laptop doesn't crash. I don't know why this happened. Maybe there is some driver issues. Let me lower the system.
Abhinandan, why you have selected printer as present? Is it mandatory?
What happened, Peter? Actually, I'm now not able to hear you. Maybe there is some network issues. Just a minute, let me refresh my network. Maybe there is some issues from my end, so I'm not able to hear you. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Just a minute. It's fine. I guess my screen is visible. Please tell me in the chat if some issues with me. Am I clearly audible? Please, someone just unmute and tell me.
Abhinandan, your voice is lagging. Huh?
My voice is lagging. I don't know what's happening. Just a minute. Please just a minute, guys. I'm facing some network issues. I'm clearly audible. Please tell me. Am I audible clearly now, or there is still lag in my voice?
Presently, you are audible.
Okay, fine. Let's continue.
Abhinandan, in the chat box, actually, I had asked one question.
Yeah, yeah. Your question about that, about the printer, yes. So it doesn't matter if you are using the printer or not. It's defaultly selected as present. So we can. It doesn't matter if you select printer or not. That's fine.
Okay.
So we'll be doing with the graphical installation here. I hope you can see my screen. Let me zoom it a bit. So we'll be going with the graphical installation. Press enter. Okay, so we are inside the machine and we are starting our configuration. So you can do side by side with me the installation of the Kali Linux, or you can just see. So first we have the selection of the language. We will be selecting the English. Then our country we have to select. So I'm going to select India. Then continue. Then configuration of the keyboard. So we are gonna leave it to the American English. That's fine. Or if we have different, okay, that's fine. We can leave it to the American English. So it's detecting our hardware and scanning installation media. So you can see here, it is like it will normally loads the components and everything from the ISO file while installing. So it takes some time. Okay, so while it is doing its thing, we can discuss something like Kali Linux have different environments. So these different environments are basically you can refer to or analog as, for example, the different kind of themes in the your what you can say the Windows system. So these themes are namely as the GNOME environment, which is GNOME or LXCE, or your LXCE or different kind of systems. So basically, these are different kind of themes which are going to just enter into the desktop environment. They have a different desktop environments. You also have your KDE Plasma, which is like really uh, good and good looking, but it takes a lot of memory and hardware resources. So that's why we have Genome, which is actually it's pronounced as GNOME, and its spelling is Genome. And you will be getting some options to install them in while this installation, and you can actually install all of them as well and just boot up into these different kind of environments if you want at any time. But if you want to install only one system, you can install only one system as well. So now we'll be checking the creating the host name. So what we need the host name to be for this machine. So let me give it, for example, my name Abhinandan. Like, I guess it is really good, like big name. So we can give it KALI. Use the small letters. You don't. I guess you don't are allowed to use capital letters in this. So if you are setting up your home network, you can manage something like this. So this is your basically your host name, which will be written on your system. Your home name, which will be used in the Kali machine on your terminal. So you can use it like I can use ICSS. Let's do it ICSS. Let's continue, or let's continue with Kali. That's fine. So domain name is part of your internet access to the right of your host name. It is often something that ends in .com, .net. So configuring the network. So we can just simply leave this and continue. Okay, so full name of the user. So we'll be creating full name. What is the name? So user account will be created for you to use instead of root account for non-administrative activities. So this will be your normal account which will not be having the root access. So what is basically root access? So root is basically like in your Windows system you have the administrators, or you may also have listened about the QAC. So what an administrator does is it has all of the rights for the system. It can access the all of the systems and files and each and everything. It can execute every executable file without any restrictions. So that's the administrator account. And same analogous to in the Linux system, you have the root account, which can do everything, each and everything. It has no restrictions. It has a highest privileges, and it is not recommended to use the root system as your main OS while you are on root systems, because if you have a virus and if you by chance from any by chance you just execute that virus, that executable file, so it will be running with the root access, and root access have all the privileges for the system. It is the administrator. It can access each and every file. Any kind of a system can access, can change anything, can do anything on a system. So that's really harmful. And we will also be seeing in this session ahead that we need for using some sort of packages or applications, you need to have the root access. So let's go further. We can give the normal name to, we can say Abhinandan, full name of the user to Abhinandan Khurana. Let's say. Let's continue. So select the username for the new account. Your first name is reasonable choice. The username should start with the lowercase letter, which can be allowed by any combination of numbers or more lowercase letters. There is some disturbance. Okay, just use the crisp. Okay, then it will be fine. I have removed my noise. I guess it would be fine now. So let's move on. So this is our next account. The first account with a Kali will be having, I guess, root access, and this username account, which is your personal account, will not be having the root access, but it will be having the normal user access. And you can give the name. So let me give it name as okay. As I guess we can give it Abhinandan. That's fine. So now we'll be choosing our password, and password need to be like really great. So or like your choice. So you need to give a good password, which is a strong password. So give it a normal password. I can say I will give it to some password. Okay. So we have set it up the password. I hope now there will not be any background noise. Is it fine, Mr. Host?
Abhinand, still your voice is lagging. Huh?
My voice is lagging. Okay. Sorry for this. I'm facing some internet issues today. I don't know why, what's happening. So there
And
is
your
some
screen is freezed. Actually, I
weather.
could not see any. Yeah.
Okay, my screen is freezed. Let me share it again. Just a minute. My screen is still, guys. I don't know what's happening today. Unexpectedly, my internet is not working. Facing some network issues. I shared my screen. I guess my screen is not visible to you guys. Not getting shared. That's the reason I don't. Please wait a minute. Now, is my screen visible? I guess this maybe it will be visible now. Please drop some message on the chat box that is visible or not. I hope it is visible. It is not like Mr. Jayant. Hello, everyone. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Or am I still not audible? Voice is breaking, not clear. Don't know what is happening. Please, everyone, drop a chat. Is my voice audible or not? Is it breaking for everyone, or is it for some people, or for everyone?
Sometime is clear, but maximum time is breaking, not clear.
Okay. Means the issue is not only with me.
Okay. Please wait a minute, 5 minutes. I am refreshing my network. I will refresh the whole network and then I will rejoin. Just a minute, please.
Hello, everybody. We'll postpone the session for this thing to be done tomorrow, as Mr. Abhinandan is network is not working. So I hope anyone can come tomorrow 8 o'clock. Hello.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. This is Peter, right?
Yes, yes. He is having a bit of technical issue, and I'm actually currently near my house. So please, we'll work on the session tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. No issues.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Thank you, everybody.